Okay, now we're going to install the strap locks. I'm just going to take a little razor knife, an X-Acto knife, and I'm going to find the center of the thickness of the guitar. And I want to measure that right at where the center line is on the bottom. I'm just going to mark a little hole there so I can drill a pilot hole. And then I'm going to take, this is just a standard strap lock, and put a felt washer on it. And that just protects the lacquer finish. And screw that right in place. And now the other strap lock goes behind the neck. Again, where the neck meets the body, I'm going to find that center point and make another mark. And that little hole just keeps my drill from wobbling on that lacquer finish. Drill a pilot hole and put another strap lock and felt washer together for the back. And now, of course, these are traditionally where they're located, but you're feel free to put them anywhere that you prefer. Now we're going to install the tuners. They just slide up from the back, and then you should have a washer and some type of sleeve or nut to attach it to the top. And just kind of get those hand tight. We'll tighten them up in just a second. And once you've got them all in and you've got them positioned where you want them, go ahead and drill some real small pilot holes for the screws in the back and install those screws. As we tighten the tuners, these screws will hold it in place and keep them from turning. And now you can go ahead and just tighten those up. You don't have to overly tighten them. You shouldn't break into the lacquer finish at all. And now we're going to take the mounting rings and install our pickups. And these are the height adjustment screws. You'll need 2 of those and a couple of the springs for the height adjustment. They're usually kind of a cone-shaped spring. The thinner end goes toward the top of the pickup. I just go ahead and insert the screws. And then set the springs on top of those. And this next part gets a little tricky, but you just sort of have to put the pickup over there and get the screws started without letting them fall out. Again, you just want to get them started. You can adjust the height when you go to install them into the actual guitar. Okay. And now I'm just connecting them to the, I'm using the quick disconnects, which is one of the free videos on the website. You might have noticed. And then I'm going to just install the pickup in the cavity. Make sure everything fits in. And now before we put the neck pickup in, we need to put the binding on the bottom of the neck itself. So I'm just taking a little scrap piece that was left over and make a little measurement there so that I can cut it. And I'm leaving a little extra here just to trim it up later. And now, since your guitar's got a little arch to it, we need to arch the bottom of this little piece of binding. So I've taken a real thin strip of wood and I've laid it over there and bent it so that I can draw the arch onto the bottom of that piece of binding. And then we just need to shave away the excess there and work our way down to that pencil line. Make sure that that sliver of wood you use isn't too thick to where this piece no longer will become flush with the top of the neck. And I'm going to take the scraper that I used to scrape the binding and just smooth this out a little bit. And now you can also see that the mounting ring itself is going to need a little bit of shaving so that it will fit on that arch as well. On my particular guitar, it's not going to need much, so I'm just going to use the scraper to sort of scrape it down some. And then we're going to take some acetone, like we installed the rest of the neck binding, and put some on the that little piece itself, and then press it into place. Now I'm just going to take a little scrap piece of wood here and hold it in place and get a little pressure on that while the acetone dries. And now we can go ahead and set the neck pickup into its position. And then I'm going to go ahead and drill some pilot holes for the mounting screws. There's 4 on each pickup in each corner. And you may, the mounting rings will be kind of thick, a little thicker than you may need, and you may want to shave them down, even the bridge pickup, to get the right angle or whatever you need to do to make it match the arch of your guitar. And now we're going to screw in